ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we'll quickly begin without wasting much time. So before that, I have two small announcements to make. One is, of course, pertaining to your course, and another one is part of environment. Okay. Now, the first thing is now because in 1.5 months time we have to close our course, so as an AECC course we are supposed to do either field work or some project work, but because of the COVID thing, it is difficult for us to go for any or conduct. We cannot even imagine of doing any such field work. So we give you projects. So last semester means the first semester students. We gave them surveys, but at that time because the situation was not uh, this worse, so they conducted surveys. The project was conducted by them in form of surveys. Okay, so this time keeping in view and keeping in mind the conditions back at your places, at our places, uh, uh, we have decided to keep it simple. Okay, simple in a way which involves only you people. Okay, which involves something which could be done easily at the home itself. Okay, so I was figuring out certain list and the list of topics, some about 6 to 7 list, and you can make group of about 6 to maximum 7 students. Okay, and you can make group either with your convenience. It will be compatible for us to work together. It's fine, and if not, then maybe you can simply open it up. Okay, see, in this group. If anybody who wishes to work in this topic, please come together and we will start working. Okay, then your group members can have a meeting with yourself, amongst yourself, or with me in person. So I'll tell you what you have to do in the project. Okay, so like for example, I have taken the topic on composting, where you will create your own compost at your home itself. Okay, so either of one or two group members can do it, and you all will, maybe one can prepare the compost at your home, another one can write the report, another one can send the data and the pictures on the compost. Second is bring your own vegetable. In this, every member of your group, or maybe 4 or 5 member of your group, will grow some vegetable which can grow in time of about 20 to 25 days. For example, mint, or your coriander, so etc. And we have to conduct a very small experiment, where in one we will add organic manure, and in one we will not add any organic manure, and we will compare their growths, and we will simply write about them in a form of a report. Okay, and the third project will be in a way, the by doing the auditing of your home. So in that, each and every member has to calculate the amount of the electricity consumption, and your water consumption and everything, the waste production, the waste consumption, and then you have to prepare a very small audit report of your home, and you have to compile that in a group file. Okay, so these are the 3 topics so far I have prepared. I'll be making 3 more topics, so that it can be, even if 6 to 7 students are participating or are taking up each topic, then it will cover your 45 to 46 strength in your class. Okay, so I'll be sending the list and posting it. I'll be posting it on your assignment. Now, if anyone has your own suggestion of doing something, then please let me know. That will be even more fine. If you have something that was there in your head from quite a time, then of course we can do that as well. Okay, so you can let me know, you can discuss with me, and then we can prepare this project. Okay, so we have a maximum of about a month's time in finishing all these things, right from conducting the experiment or conducting the readings, taking the readings, preparing the data, and then compiling it in a form of a file. Okay, and we will discuss once the groups will be prepared. Then I'll talk with each group. I'll discuss what you have to do, and we will have your ideas on that. Okay. So first is this. Any doubt? Any question on this, pertaining this? Anyone? Anyone? No one. It seems no one has a question. Okay. Mm. Another thing that I want to share is I think I'll show you a slide. It's better that I show you a slide. Okay. Okay. So I'll share the slides and then we can. Okay, do you know him? Anyone? Anyone knows him? He is not a son of some MLA MP or a, um, or some. I shouldn't say even a topper or a gold medalist. But yes, anyone knows about him or
मैम
any.
ये बीच पे आई थिंक इन्होंने मतलब काफी ज्यादा वो साफ सफाई के लिए ये किया था.
Very good, Pallavi. I'm very glad that you have an idea about what he did. It's very good. By the way, his name is Mr. Arun Krishnamurthy, and he is a very young person. Means, if I think it's only about 33, 34 years of age, and he has been recognized for receiving an British Council International Climate Champion Excellence Award, Rolex Award, and Jane Goodall Institute Global Youth Award. Okay, and this guy of about 34 years of age or 35 years of age, I should say, he is 1 to 2 years elder than me, maybe 1 or 2 years elder than me. Okay, or 1 year, yeah, 2 years elder than me. Okay, so this guy, he was brought up in a small village in a school, but he used to see his panchayat personal, and he was very inspired by his head of the panchayat because he was very active as far making people aware of keeping their village clean, in collecting the garbage and in managing the waste. So since childhood, that was there in his was there in his inspiration. Okay. So then he finished his education from Madras, and he finished his management from one of the IIMs, and then he of course went into a job as we go. But he wasn't satisfied with his work, and that thing was there in his head, that he was able to see those lakes suffering from suffocation, from eutrophication, and from the highly huge amount of waste. And interestingly, because while he was working in Bangalore or maybe at some place where behind this building where he was working in, he was able to see those lakes and those wetlands heavily polluted. And it occurred to his mind that why don't he why don't he go outside, and he should help in removing and in cleaning that lake. Okay, and since then his journey is without any turning back. Okay, so we are deeply honored. Okay, I'll reveal the things uh, afterwards. Okay, so this is this one person, Mr. Arun Krishnamurthy. Second are these two people. Anyone knows them? If not the foreign guy, maybe the girl in the orange. Anyone? You might it might be appearing she's some high five person of a model, but when I'll tell you, you'll all laugh. Anyways, anyone? Okay. Now these two are another young lads. Of course, He is not from India, but he has helped in her work. Okay, now she is quite young. I think she will be around 26, 27 years of age, not much. Her name is Sahar Mansoor, and this is Mr. Tim D. Ritter. Okay, now they have came up with a book known as Bare Necessities, which is published in by Penguin. But this book has actually came this year itself, and they are working immensely on how to live a zero waste life, and they are doing something right from their home, and they are preparing small recipes that tells us, okay, this is the way by which we can save this, or by which we can convert this article into this thing, we can save money. Okay, so Sarah Manchu, she then became a founder and, of course, a CEO of her company known as Bare Necessities, that creates workshops and a training program. And not just this, she also has a small cottage industry where her friends and other participants are participating in preparing the soaps, in those articles, in organic things right from the waste itself. Nothing, no raw material, no fresh raw material, everything from the waste itself. Okay, so she had done extensive studies, and she went to different places in India, USA, because that was clear in her mind that she has to do something regarding this. Okay, and then when she came back, she started doing this thing. Okay, now zero waste in 30 implies, because uh, she has still not reached the age of 30, so she takes those online courses where she tells that even a small student, or even a young student, can work on these techniques. They don't need any help from outside, or they don't need any help of an elder. They can do it by themselves. Okay, and this guy, Mr. Tim Ritter, he's completed his education and training. He went on a bike ride to the entire Europe and addressed the problem of environment. Okay, so then they both wrote this book. Bare Necessities is right now available on Amazon. So I am also reading those chapters, so that maybe in future we can conduct some experiments. Now the question is, why I am showing these pictures? Because they have agreed to come this environmental day to interact with you all. Okay, and it's my request that please find some time in listening to them, because they are not just the one who are working towards environment. We should also listen to their challenges, how the dreams came into their head to do something out from themselves, to do something for the people. And it wasn't easy, but even when it was challenging, because they dreamed good, it had some purpose. It took some time. It was challenging, but now they are doing good. So we should listen to them, because it's highly motivating. See, what we say is that कि हम इतने young में थोड़ा ना कुछ कर सकते हैं. We either need to have a degree or something like that. But we will see. Now, Seher actually, she took her degrees later, when she realized, okay, this is what she wants to do. Then, for a part of her learning, she went for the training program in the Cambridge and the other places, so that she could be polished better and she could apply those things here. Okay. Similarly, Arun Krishnamurthy, although he is working towards environment, but he's a person who is working in fields of technology and in terms of marketing, accounting, and management. Okay, but still they are working a lot in terms of environment. Okay, so Mr. Arun Krishnamurthy, he had agreed to be on 5th June, that is this Saturday, on at 11 a.m. And these two have agreed to interact with us on 7th of June, because she was very occupied. You can also see them on the TED Talk, Indian TED Talk. So they have given beautiful talks there, and they have a beautiful videos. You can also visit their websites. You can also visit their company link, where you will find more about them and about their work. And they are such a wonderful people. When I was talking to Seher, I was like feeling I'm talking with such a joyful and an enthusiastic and such an energetic person. They have no show off. They are so very grounded. So we should know We should listen to them, that they are so very motivating, that even after reaching to this height, because their idea and goal is so high, they are so very simple and they are so very grounded. Okay, so on 7th of June, that is on Monday, they will be here with us at 4:30 p.m. So I tried, because you all have your lab, and if your lab will be there, please let me know. I'll talk to your teacher. Please do attend these talks. Okay. Now, third thing that I want is that we already have our Pravati Council team, but because most of them are in final years and they are having their examinations from 7th June. So anyone who wants to volunteer to help me in creating posters and in arranging for the event, please drop your name or drop your message on to me on WhatsApp. Okay. Fine. So this is what I wanted to do. Tell. I am preparing a poster. So once that is ready, we will be circulating it, and there is no restrictions. Anyone can join it. Your friends from different colleges can also join it. Okay. So or if you have your local environmental society, or you have a people there around you, please feel free to make them join as well. Okay. Okay, so now we move on to our class. Okay, anyone has any doubt here? किसी को कुछ पूछना है तो पूछ सकते हो बेटा मुझसे. Fine. So we will begin with our class. So in last class we were discussing about land as a resource. Okay, and then I told you कि after understanding how we have exploited this resource, how we have mismanaged this resource, we will now understand what is the pollution. क्योंकि मैंने बोला था कि pollution and resources I'll take simultaneously, because most of the topics are covered in both the units. So it's better that I take one resource and its pollution in continuation. Okay. So um, now when I say pollution, okay, sorry. Before this, I must first I should go to this slide, and we should know what is this pollution. Okay. So now the code is open to you. Can anyone tell what is the first thing that comes in your mind when you say okay, such and such resources has been polluted? Okay. हम ऐसे भी बोलते हैं इसका माइंड पोल्यूटेड हो गया, या हम ऐसे कह सकते हैं कि अरे ये पानी तो पोल्यूटेड है, दिस एयर इज पोल्यूटेड. ओके, सो व्हाई मींस व्हाट इज दैट वेरी थिंग दैट कम्स इन आवर हेड व्हेन वी से ओके इट्स पोल्यूटेड? I'll on the recording. Yeah, please go on.
Ma'am,
Something
undesirable substance.
Uh, 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 wait. ठीक है. Yeah. Once again, beta. Can you repeat, beta? Yeah. Beta, can you repeat?
Ma'am, first thing come to mind when we talk about pollution is the undesirable substance added to that thing.
Okay, good. Okay. Janvi is here with the message, some kinds of contaminated particle. Very
some
good.
contamination, and that is, it is not longer useful for us, and it is not longer basically it is some kind of harmful. It is causing toxicity. It is
Okay.
increasing the toxic. It is quite toxic in nature then.
Okay, perfect. Very fine. Okay, so when we say as something polluted, the first thing that comes in mind is in terms of quality. ठीक है कि इसकी क्वालिटी में कुछ चेंजेस आ गए हैं, और जब हम उन चेंजेस के बारे में बात करें, when we are saying it is a change in these qualities, of course it is something which is negative. Okay, negative in terms of what? Impact on us. Okay, say for example, if we are seeing the soil, okay, that is polluted. Okay, then the thing that is coming in mind is there the quality has gone down in a way because it is affecting the human health. Okay, similarly, if I am saying this water is polluted, it implies that the thing that is making us say okay this is polluted is because we are seeing that the quality has gone down in terms of it is not good for our health. Okay, so one thing is clear: when we say pollution, it defines the quality of that it defines the quality of that resource, in terms it is negative. And second, when we are saying okay, its quality is deteriorating or has deteriorated, that reference point which has enabled us to think okay, the quality has gone down, is in terms of its impact on human health. Okay, so from there the definition of pollution comes, because nobody wants to be ill, nobody wants to suffer from any an ailment, or from a disease, or from the painful sufferings of these, of their impacts. Okay, so of course we don't desire them to be there in our lives. Okay, we don't desire them to come to us. Okay, so this is something which is very undesirable. So where, what is pollution? It's an undesirable change which we do not desire to come, which we do not desire or expect to happen. So it's an undesirable change in what? In the quality of the resource. Now, when I'm saying quality, this is on three bases: physical composition, chemical composition, and the biological composition. Okay, and how it is affecting? It is affecting the life of, or the health of human being. It is causing adverse effect or impacts on the human health, plus the other living beings. Initially, of course, we begun observing it when it started impacting us. But once we had started looking at, we actually realized no, it's not just us; it's the other living beings also who have started getting affected by it. Okay, so what is pollution? Pollution is that undesirable change caused in the physical, chemical, and biological composition of that resource, with which it has started creating or causing an adverse impact on the human health and the other living organism, is known as your environmental pollution. Clear? Is this clear? Perfect, perfect. Now we come and come to the soil pollution or land pollution. Okay. Okay. So, what is soil pollution and how is it creating? When we are introducing harmful materials, mostly if we are introducing, because it's anthropogenic. So, when we are introducing this harmful material in the soil, into the environment, as a result of which the land is getting toxic, or the garbage is getting collected at one place, with which we are running out of the space, is known as your soil pollution. This is another way. Or what we can say soil pollution: undesirable change in the physical, chemical, and biological composition of the soil, with which it has started affecting, or with which it is adversely affecting the health of human being and all the other living beings, is known as your soil pollution. Clear? Clear हो गया बेटा ये?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, 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 good. Okay. So, what is the percentage contribution by different industry in creating soil pollution? Maximum goes to the industries, that is around 36%, followed by us, that is, of course, your municipal waste and treatment, 15%. So, when we say it's all industry, 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 so we can see that okay, the second position is ours. Although, of course, these are also forming the part of the industry in some or the other way. Like, for example, mining activity or transportation. Transportation, of course, is not. It forms the part, means it forms the part on our part. But the power plants and the waste treatment disposal parts, again, in the oil industry, so we can see that they form the major chunk. Okay, in that, industrial production and commercial services comprises of about 36% contribution. We contribute to around 15% of this land pollution. Okay, so when we say those agents which are causing this trouble to the soil, those are your soil pollutants. Okay, and that can be any factor that is declining, that is deteriorating the quality in terms of either the that is what I have said, physical composition. What is physical composition? In the texture, in the mineral composition of the soil, okay, or in the biological balance. So when I say texture, it is the physical composition, physical factor. Mineral content implies your chemical composition, and biological balance, that is the microbes that are living there, who are going to perform this role of decomposition, they are also getting affected. This is all your soil pollution. Clear? Is it clear, Vita? Fine, fine. So now we come on to what are the causes of it. Okay, so that is what we have also discussed there. that when we talk about land degradation, what are the reasons? Okay, and soil erosion is the one factor we are constantly discussing about it. Okay, because it is the one main factor which is removing the top layer, which is then declining the productivity of the soil, that is then causing the desertification, because when the soil productivity is off, then of course it is not going to support the vegetation and so and so. Okay, now the other now those are the consequences of the soil erosion. Apart from soil erosions, what are those? Of course, there are certain accidents where the, say for example, a vehicle is transporting something and then it meets with a sudden accident with which that waste or that fuel gets spread over the field or spread over the soil. Waste dumping, hero of the problems. Okay, and then of course the leaching of the pollutants. Now that is a part of this waste dump. Okay, and then there is, of course, excessive use of chemical fertilizers and insecticides, industrialization, and mining activities also. Now, here is the percentage presence of all contribution. Okay, in terms of each means, if we see in the industry, but the paper and paperboard industry, 27.4%. It's huge. Okay, followed by the yard trimmings and plastics. Okay, and then of course we can also say food waste. See, after paper and paperboard, the next in the position that is causing this waste dumping or that contributes to the waste dumping is your 14.5% food waste. Huge percent. At the one end, we say that we have a shortage of food, and on the other end we see that this huge percentage forms the part of our waste dump. Okay? We have to check this. इसको कम किया जाए so that waste will also reduce and the shortage of and this short the problem with the shortage of food can also be resolved. Okay, and how can this happen? Just by change in our mindset, in our way of living. Okay, to take that much amount, to use that much amount which is required, not to go in excess. Okay, and then of course the wood, rubber industry, plastic industry, and there is a mining industries. Okay, because from the mining industry, the dust that is the mineral dust that is coming out from the minings or from the mines, that is suspended in the atmosphere, when it gets settled down on the fields, it causes huge pollution. And I think there are certain case studies where farmers have severely been affected by the mining activities because of the huge deposition of those minerals that were coming out in the form of the dust from those mining areas. They were getting deposited on their fields, and they found that the fields have started turning barren, with which the productivity was severely affected. Okay. Then, of course, excessive use of chemical fertilizers. I had already discussed with you that initially using them was boon for the agricultural industry, because there was sudden increase in the productivity. But as the soil, as we added more and more chemical fertilizers, the soil composition in long run lost its capability, lost its natural regenerability and capacity. And the other minerals that were also needed in the soil, they also started going down. Okay. So because of the constant using or constant usage and the practices of using fertilizers and insecticides, it has started turning soil barren, because soil unproductive and land into barren land. Okay, so now the productivity has declined because of their excessive uses. And as I had already discussed, that this is also associated with one of the very important problem connected with water pollution, that is your eutrophication. Okay, is it clear, beta? यहाँ तक clear है सबको? Fine. Okay. So we also say that in terms of waste, there is also a problem connected with nuclear waste and the disposal of ammunition and agents of war. Okay? So we cannot imagine जो हमारे डंपिंग शिपयार्ड्स और आपके एयरक्राफ्ट्स और इनके डंपिंग यार्ड्स होते हैं, इससे इतना ज़्यादा वेस्ट जनरेट हुआ है, उसमें इतना ज़्यादा मेटल लॉग है कि अगर हम उस मेटल स्क्रैप को वहाँ से निकाल के दूसरे इंडस्ट्रीज में यूज़ कर ले, आई थिंक वी नीड नॉट टू गो देयर इन द फील्ड फॉर द रॉ मटेरियल. हमें माइनिंग की ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी. इतना ज़्यादा है ना मेटल हमारे शिप यार्ड, एक शिप का कितना बड़ा साइज होता है, एंड दैट एंटायर शिप इज अ मेटालिक कंटेनर। जस्ट इमेजिन जो यार्ड्स में पड़े पड़े गल रहे हैं, वहां से अगर आप मेटल को यूज करोगे कितना ज्यादा वो सप्लाई आपकी पूरी कर सकता है। okay? So we have different sort of wastes. You cannot imagine what different varieties of waste we have. और अगर हम उन सभी waste से अपना कुछ कुछ निकालना शुरू कर दें, we will find that we no more need any raw material. Okay? So let's talk about some good case studies about about the waste dumping sites, and we need not go here and there. It's right here in Delhi. Okay? So there are four big, very big dumping sites. There are thousands of dumping sites, but I am discussing about four famous dumping sites whose name is there in the list of the biggest dumping sites across the world. Okay? So this is one Ghazipur, there is one in Okhla, in Bhalswa, and there is one Narela. Okay, so this is a comparative picture where we can see the size. Okay, now let's imagine this is some around 15 meters into 15 meters, means 15 meters length, 15 meters breadth area, and with a height of about 9.5 meters. 10 meters is a great high. 10-meter high implies that it's one story, not one story. 10 meter is it's uh, mm, um, how much should I say? Maybe half of your door size, or maybe a bit bigger than that. उसका एक स्क्वायर बना लो और उसमें आप अपना 9.5 मीटर हाइट का एक वेस्ट जनरेट कर लो. This is that small dot as compared to these sizes. Okay. So this in itself is also very big, but this is very very small in compared to this. It's like the Earth and Sun in terms of size. Okay, and these are our great break landfill sites. Okay, Ghazipur, Balsava, Okhla, and Narela. So they have about 45 meters of height, 40 meters of height. Okhla is 48.5 meters of height. However, presently Ghazipur land site has reached the height of more than 50 meters. Okay? And this is the huge area. Now, 28,000 square meters implies that it's around 400-meter length, 400-meter breadth. This much. Now, 400 meter is a huge distance. It's a bit less than that of half a kilometer. Okay. अभी उतना लेंथ में चले जाओ, उतना ब्रेथ में चले जाओ और 40 meters का हाइट बना दो. Can you imagine what is the volume of this land mass, this waste? Okay. And this is not, ऐसा नहीं है कि एक बार बन चुका है. It's still there, and the dumping of the waste is in continuation. It's continuing. And the question is कि नहीं कंटिन्यू करेंगे या नहीं वेस्ट ले जाएंगे तो कहाँ ले जाएंगे वेस्ट? वेयर? हम जहां पर भी नया करेंगे वहां पर भी कुछ दिन में पहाड़ क्रिएट हो जाएगा. ओके, सो व्हाट इज दिस डेली लैंडफिल साइकिल? इट्स per day, every day. So around 10,000 tons of waste is collected, and around 600 to 650 trucks climb daily on these landfill sites to dump these waste. Out of this 10,000 tons, around 2,500 approximately, around some 200 to 250 tons is burned daily. Okay, so now we can relate here with the air pollution and with the water pollution. This 200 tons, when it's burned, it is releasing around contributing to around 7 to 9% of air pollution, which is a huge percent in terms of CO2, CO, methane, sulfur gases, nitrogen oxides, etc. Third, and how it is affecting the water pollution, or it's causing pollution to the water. Now the the important in the toxins, they leach down into the soil and form the part of the groundwater table, or they get flown uh, or when the rain or downpour happens, they all get washed and they come to these nearby water bodies. Okay. So this is how it is affecting both the surface water as well as the groundwater and the air. Soil to affect whole layer. Okay. Now we can see here as well that most of these are near to the canal system. This Balsava, this Ghazipur. So it's so simple कि लीच होके ये ग्राउंड वाटर का भी पार्ट बना सकता है और जैसे ही रेनफॉल होगा तो ये सारा वॉश होके इन कैनाल्स में आता है. Okay? And then all these canals form the part of they finally get dumped into your Yamuna river system. Now as for Okhla, I think there is one water body that is near to the Okhla, or otherwise groundwater it's already affecting the groundwater. Okay. Now, as per the solid waste management rule of 2016, it says for any landfill site, it shouldn't go more than 20 meters of height. It shouldn't be older than that of 20 to 25 years of age. There should be a clay lining before once we finalize, okay, this land has to be used for landfill. Okay. But against all these specifications, Gazipur is 50 meters high, much more than that of the height of a Qutub Minar. It's 33-year-old, much more than this prescribed limit. Okay. And then there are other dumping sites at Ukla and Malsaba, as I have shown you in the previous slide. And all, although now landfill site is an official term which implies, okay, these norms have to be followed, but because these norms are not followed, so we shouldn't even call them landfill sites. This is a completely unauthorized yard where we are just dumping and dumping and dumping. Okay? And with the efforts of rain, fire, of course, it's polluting the air, it's polluting the water body. And interestingly, I think last year or last to last year, an accident also happened in a form of an explosion because of this huge pressure of gases, fire, and the rain. Okay, and some few people lost their lives in this Gazipur landfill site. Let me check what is that news. Wait, and tell you. If anyone has heard about it, please go ahead. Have you heard about this accident? Please do. Hmm. Okay, so this happened in around 2000, in 2017, I think. Huh? In 2007. No, there is one that has happened recently also. I should check it. Mm, yeah, in 2020 also it has happened, and in 1984, sorry, in 2017 it has happened. Okay, so what happened is that Kasipur landfill collapsed. जैसे लैंडस्लाइड होता है ना, ये कूड़े का लैंडस्लाइड हो गया. Now around 50 tons of waste. It actually collapsed. Okay, and because of that, uh, it washed away some 4 vehicles, some bikes, and the people who actually were swept into it. Okay, so they found some 2 to 5 dead bodies in this, and then there is an eyewitness who said that I could not believe my eyes when I saw the mountain was falling. This mountain is a mountain of a garbage. Initially, I thought many more people had died as the water and the garbage struck the ground with such an immense force कि मुझे तो लगा कि पता नहीं कितने लोग मर जाएंगे. Okay. So, and this is because the weight of the landfill has become so huge कि जैसे ही आपका रेन वाटर हुआ, it couldn't support it. ठीक, अब वहां पर तो वो सॉइल जैसा सिस्टम तो है नहीं कि भाई पेड़ उग गए तो उसने रूट्स बाइंड कर ली. It's a complete garbage, so it simply got washed away. Okay, and then there is one report. So there is one report in Down to Earth. Okay, this Down to Earth is released by this organization that I was discussing long back, the CSE, okay, Center for Science and Environment Research. Who the Sunita Narayan is the chairman. So if anyone has time, then you can all go through that report and how it is causing the air pollution and how much immense amount of air it's contributing to the air pollution of Delhi. Okay. Now, what are the impacts of all these land pollution? Of course, soil fertility is the chief and the first important thing that it has caused. Okay. Um, Now, as a result of the loss in soil fertility, what is happening? Agricultural productivity has gone down. It has started causing desertification because when the soil is now more fertile, so it is no more supporting any vegetation. As a result, it is decreasing the cultivable land, and because the topsoil has washed away, so it has created the problem of eutrophication with the fertilizer runoff case in the cases of runoff. Okay. Anyone has any problem so far?
Ma'am, what is eutrophication?
Okay, that I'll discuss when I'll be discussing about water pollution. Okay, don't worry, I'll be discussing about it.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ, so far अभी इतना समझ लो यूट्रोफिकेशन में आप कभी कभी ऐसे लेक्स को या पॉन्ड्स को या वाटर सिस्टम को देखते हो जिसमें पूरा हरा हरा काई बिछी रहती है. ओके, इट्स ऑल ग्रीन. Or there is huge amount of your along with those algae you have jalkumbi and water plants floating around in those water body. Okay, so that is because of this eutrophication. So rest when we will discuss about this in the water pollution, I will be telling you about that in detail. Okay, so now we come to the control measures. Of course, conservation strategies are must. We need to stop. कंट्रोल मेजर्स को आपको याद करने के लिए क्या करना होगा? आपको इम्पैक्ट्स याद रखने होंगे. ठीक है, तो और रीजंस कॉजेस क्या क्या है. अभी उन कॉजेस को कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, दैट इज व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड. ओके, नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल वी आल्सो वी डिस्कस्ड दैट excessive use of chemical fertilizers. What we can do is means how can we remediate this problem? We have to shift to the organic manure or organic compounds, okay, rather than using synthetic or chemical fertilizers. Okay, we have to move on to biopesticides rather than chemical pesticides. Okay, and this could all be done by connecting with your integrated nutrient management and integrated pest management programs that are launched by government and your agricultural institutes. Okay, अब सुनते भी हो गया, आई डोंट नो, शायद से रेडियो पे आता है और मे बी ऑन डीडी न्यूज़ और मे बी ऑन डीडी 1 शाम के एक आते हैं किसान सम्मेलन समथिंग, किसान कृषि कुछ करके एक प्रोग्राम आता है where the farmers and the experts on agriculture from different agricultural department they sit and they tell about different programs in terms of in the form of the workshops, in the form of workshop and using them, in creating awareness, in telling them about stopping the use of chemical fertilizers and so on. Okay, and we have to apply soil management practices in agriculture. In order to prevent the soil from getting eroded, we have to ensure that soil needs to be covered. In order to prevent the problem of salinization that we have discussed there, we need to ensure that there is a proper drainage is happening. The waste is, the industry is not dumping their waste there. And the water clogging shouldn't be there in the fields. Okay, an afforestation program, of course, because afforestation or nearby forestation program helps in managing two things. One, it will keep it will bind the soil and it will prevent it from getting eroded. Second, it will maintain the moisture and the water retaining capacity of the soil. Okay, and of course undertaking clean up operations. Okay, so these are all the control measures. Rest we will discuss when we will discuss about this act, Soil Waste Management Act in Unit 6. Okay, so this finishes your soil pollution and your land as a resource as a whole. Okay, so now here is one more thing that we will discuss, or rather I'll give you a note on that. Okay, on the plastic, because plastics form the huge part of your waste. Okay, and the questions are, I mean, seen in the papers that they are asking questions again and again about the soil pollution. Okay, and I also discuss about composting here. Okay, that is something which which can be done at each and every house. Okay, composting is the best way. Okay, we will also look about certain methods in managing waste. एक इसमें part और बच गया, right? That is a big part. That comprises of three major parts: your incineration, your composting, and your one more thing, landfilling. Okay, क्योंकि अब इतना वेस्ट है तो डेफिनेटली हम लैंडफिल तो हमें करना पड़ेगा, बट उसका क्या अरेंजमेंट और क्या तरीका होना चाहिए, दैट वी विल सी. And we will then also discuss about 3 R's and circular economy. That we will discuss at the end. Okay, your 3 R's and your circular economy and everything. Okay, so I think a very small part remains here, and we will begin with our water resource. Okay, anyone has any question here, any doubt with the entire lecture, or means पूरे lecture में कोई confusion, कोई problem, कोई doubt अगर है, or you wish to say share anything, please go ahead. Okay, attendance here. Okay, beta. Akriti.